story when we're done. Good morning and welcome to this edition of the Lynn Hayes Freeland Show. We have some pretty exciting stuff to talk about this morning. A little bit later in the program, we're going to talk to a local man who's actually gone to Houston to try to help out the victims of the flooding there. He's also going to talk to you about how you can get involved. But we begin with some excitement, if you will. A production that opened this past weekend here in the city of Pittsburgh, but you got a couple of weeks to go see East Texas Hot Links. I could read so much into that name, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let my two guests fill all that in. Monte Russell, Cheryl L. Walker, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so what does that mean? East Texas Hot Links. What does that mean?
Well, hot links are a favorite food in those parts of the world, and it really doesn't have anything to do with food. The piece.
All right.
Eugene Lee, who is the playwright, who has performed several times in Pittsburgh, wrote it. And he has certain idiosyncrasies. He's like the Texas August Wilson, if you will.
And he's been on the show a couple times.
Yes.
Okay.
So really, the hot link part of it is really not as important as the fact that it takes place in East Texas.
Okay.
Which is a whole different kind of ballgame.
I was going to say, now what's special about East Texas? I don't know.
Well, in 1955, Texas, just like even today, they say they do things their way, they do everything big, and so there's different kinds of rules and regulations that occur as Texans interact with each other. Everybody's packing. Formerly, part of the Wild Wild West, the mentality of the Wild Wild West is still there. So you automatically know you are in a different part of the world, or at least the country, when you're down in Texas. And particularly in East Texas, it's around a time, East Texas is very close to Houston, and so the connection between Houston and Dallas hasn't occurred yet. But it does, that transportation system is starting to be built.
It's starting to be built.
So yes.
Now, sure, he says everybody's packing at that time, and I'm looking at this picture of you, and you apparently are packing too.
That's right. I play the role of Charles Etta, and I've inherited the cafe from my father, and I'm what you would consider a grit girl. You know, the grit girls, girls raised in the South, and I'm tough. I'm tough. I can hang with the rest of them, as you can see.
So where's the conflict in this story?
I would say this. First of all, East Texas Hot Links is a play I did in 1994 in New York at the Public Theater. It's a 90-minute piece, and at that time there was no such thing as a 90-minute play. It was either going to be a one-act or a full-length play with an intermission. At that time we did this. It was a 90-minute, start-to-finish, whirlwind kind of thing. It's a piece that...
So there's no intermission?
No intermission. We're rolling straight through. It's a piece that has stayed with me since then, and I always said that if I get an opportunity to direct it, I would jump on it. And so when Mark announced that he was doing this in their season, as soon as it was announced in the Gazette, I was already on the phone. We were putting in my dibs, you know. And so the conflict in this piece, in the part of East Texas that it takes place is called the Piney Woods. It's this wooded area that has like hundreds and hundreds of pine trees of different sizes. But within this forest, if you will, there's this cafe that which is called the Top of the Hill Cafe, in which the inhabitants are the members of the black community. So here, outside, it has a color-only sign on it, and they're embracing that. That means it's theirs. So there's camaraderie that happens, debates, banter, snacks and drinks and stuff like that. It takes place on a Friday night. Now, in a bigger community outside of the forest, there, like I said, the highway project is being built, but some African-American young men who are working on the project have disappeared mysteriously, and one was even found encased in cement on the highway. So that murder mystery is surrounding this Top of the Hill Cafe where, the folks congregate, and then also there's an element of betrayal within the group that causes this culture that they have created to really come apart. So there's got this murder mystery happening, but there's an enemy with on the outside, but there's also an enemy or two
within the group.
And so this close-knit unit that you will see, that you're having a ball seeing it, they will start fraying apart because of somebody is up to no good within the group.
Absolutely.
So that's where the conflict arises.
Okay, and look at you over here. So We're looking at the picture of this cast. Lots of familiar faces on there. In fact, I think everybody on there just about has been on this show at one point in time or another. And so I'm guessing that each has their own distinct personality and brings something different to the cafe.
Yes, they do. There's some characters that are like brothers. There's some that are like sons that I kind of nurture, and my mother. So I kind of change up my sensitivity to the person that I'm talking to. So there's Buckshot that, you know, he's married, but he comes in there and he gets his drink after work, and there's Roy, who's nothing but he's just a flirt. He just flirts.
Is that Kevin Brown?
No, surprisingly. Kevin Brown is the brotherly kind of person that you can have a good conversation with. Montez Freeland is Roy Moore, and he's a bad boy.
Okay, all right. So now the play opened this past weekend. I mentioned you had opening night on the 29th, and it runs through November the 6th. Let's just talk about those logistics. Where is it? And I know folks, I think we have a super that tells folks where they can get tickets.
Pittsburgh Playwrights Theater. I'm not sure the exact address because though I'm a native of Pittsburgh, I live in Los Angeles, so I'm not sure. I think it's 937 Liberty Avenue.
937 Liberty Avenue, right across from the August Wilson Center.
Right across from the August Wilson Center. And folks can go to the Pittsburgh Playwrights website, get their tickets. Okay, we got that out the way. Now, I always ask, what is the after dinner conversation? What are we talking about when we go out for drinks after we've seen the play?
The ending is powerful, and so a lot of it will be, oh my God, what did we just watch? We watched something that started out 7 o'clock in the evening. Folks are at the place, and it's Friday night, and then at the end of it, it's like, wow, what happened? Why did it happen? And so I think what you're going to be talking about is like how quick things just shifted. But they were always in motion. They always were foreshadowed and built up. But who could predict what happens at the end? So I think that's what people will be talking about.
What do you think they're going to talk about?
And with one word, like, did he get away?
Wow. Okay.
Did he get away?
Did he get away? All right. We're going to leave it right there. The play open. It runs until the 6th of November. It's at the Pittsburgh Playwrights. You can go to their website at, I believe it's pghplaywrights.org. We'll see you there. Thanks so much for joining us today. Did he get away? Wow. Okay, we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, how you can help the folks in Houston. So don't go away when the Lynn Hayes Freeland Show continues.